Tonight, opposition National Democratic Congress takes on governing New Patriotic Party accusing it of massive vote buying in today's special voting process, which has ended a few minutes ago.
Issue of concern is the rate at which government functionaries are sharing money all over the place. They are not even scared, attempting to bribe and to influence service officials.
Details as police pick up a voter for trying to take photograph of his ballot paper. We'll bring you details of a day in which has been characterized by missing names, vote sharing, and dry ink, and a few of the hiccups that characterize the process, which many people have described largely as smooth, with a strong turnout ahead of Saturday's polls. We have more from our correspondent in various constituencies and reactions from political stakeholders here on the show. Let's get quick into the action and bring you all of that that is happening now. The opposition National Democratic Congress is taking on the governing New Patriotic Party of accusing it of massive vote buying in today's special voting process. According to the NDC, the MPP functionaries have been paying monies to security operatives who took part in the special voting today through mobile money transactions. We'll bring you details of that shortly. But today's special voting exercise witnessed a strong turnout nationwide, setting the stage for Saturday's highly anticipated polls. While the process has been largely smooth, a few challenges, including missing names on the voter register, delays caused by dry ink, and a report of vote sharing to EC officials at some polling stations. Despite these hiccups, electoral officials and security personnel have maintained order and ensured the exercise progressed without major disruptions. Let's get around of the 328 polling stations undertaking where the exercises were taking place, and bring you a report from there. Kweku Asante is joining us from the Ayos West Legon Constituency. He's been there the whole day, Kweku. So you've been there. We understand that a voter was picked up by the police for attempting to take a picture of his vote. Tell us more.
Well, yes, Brace, that was just about 15 minutes before polling woke. Here, that has not been covered.
Well, if you can reposition yourself for us, it will be better. We will be grateful for that. Your line keeps breaking. Let's try again.
Brace, can you hear me?
Let's try again.
Yes, so this person alleged to be a police officer or one member of the security force, because we are unable to confirm specifically which of the security services he belongs to, tried to take a photo of his ballot paper, and the NDC representatives around, including John DeMello, would take none of that. In fact, they shouted and shouted until the police officers who were around just came in there and picked him. And this voting is happening right in front of the district police headquarters here at Legon. And so the police officers did pick him up. They took him to the district commander's office. There was some interaction before they took him out again to the Legon police station itself, where he is said to have written a statement. As we see, you can hear some noise in the background. The formalities around the voting process has now been sorted out. The ballot boxes have been marched right to the armory of the Ghana Police Service at the Legon police station to be kept up until the election concludes on the 7th of December, before these ballot boxes will be opened and then sorted and counted. But the bigger incident that happened here is what happened about 15 minutes to close the poll, when this person tried to take a photo of his ballot paper, was accosted by the police. He has been led to the Legon police station. We understand he has written a statement. We do not have confirmation yet if he has actually been detained or he has been granted police inquiry bail.
Earlier in the day, there were some other issues in the constituency. How were those ones resolved?
Well, yes, the process was smooth up until about 12:50, when 11:50, I should say, when the member of parliament, Lydia Sarah Malasan, actually came in there with a number of persons from her office, and they were holding packs of food, and they sent it to the two queues. There are two polling stations at the Apawu West Legon. They distributed some of those packs of persons who were lining up to queue. And this was not something that the NDC in particular were happy about. The member of parliament said he was not doing this because he was trying to buy anybody's vote. He was simply doing so. He was passing on this vote to electoral officials, persons who were queuing up to vote and all that. And these persons did not want to have any of that. John DeMello in particular, incensed about the situation, describing what he believes to be vote buying by the member of parliament, as unacceptable. We have spoken to the member of parliament who in fact has said that this is not something that she wanted to do and that she was only sharing these things and not because she wanted to buy votes. Especially later on, she has actually denied that she wasn't even here when the specifics of this thing happened, although there are videos of her actually doing this. So that was a bit of a fracas around 11:50 this morning at the Legon police station where the Ayawaso West Legon, the two polling stations for that constituency, the voting was being had, and that was what caused some melee and some led the process to degenerate up until the police were able to restore calm. Later on, some persons who identified themselves as officials of the Office of the Special Prosecutor actually came in here and asked some questions. In fact, they came to us journalists who had recorded some of the incidents in the scene, took our phone numbers, and said they were going to reach out, and this is something that they were actively investigating. So the Special Prosecutor has come up in this mess, given the allegations that were made earlier on that the Member of Parliament was trying to buy votes.
Grateful to you, Kweku Asante, for that. Let's still stay in Ayawaso and go to Prince Kudogan. He is in Ayawaso Central. Prince, so what more can you report from where you are?
Yes, as we speak at this moment, voting has ended some 30 minutes ago. The sealing formalities are ongoing so that the ballot boxes will be carried to the police armory where they will be kept until the end of day 7 December, where they will be counted along with all results across the country. Now here at the Ayawaso Central Constituency, the elections were smooth until around after midday, when a young man or an officer who we are not able to verify which of the security services served in walked in and after voting decided to take a picture of his ballot paper. Both NDC and NPP reps in the police center were not happy with that. So there was a bit of chaos until policemen, security officers around intervened. The guy was whisked away. We don't know where he was sent to. But after that, the elections returned to normal until close of day.
All right. So as we speak, the elections are over and everything is you've all deserted the polling center as we speak.
At this moment, there is a bit of back and forth between the presiding officer and the NDC NPP agent about the tally of numbers. So that's what we are on now. They are a bit of back and forth. They are trying to agree on the total number of vote cast and all those things. That's what we are now for the past 30 minutes. As and when they reach an agreement on the total number of vote cast. Now I see some police vehicles arriving. I think they are done. They are cutting the ballot boxes into the vehicles and will be carted away any moment from now. Breeze.
Okay, interesting. So that's the Ayawaso Central. From there, let's take you to Kole Klote, where my colleague James Aveji has been all day. James, you have been covering this particular place all day, and quite an interesting development we are picking from other places. What more can you tell us from where you have been? We'll bring in James Aveji again so we can get you update on what happened there. Okay, let me take you to the Ododo Diodo constituency where Collins has been all day. Collins, what is happening at where you are?
Brace, voting has ended in the Ododo Diodo constituency, Jamestown polling station. About 530 people were expected to cast their votes. At the end of voting, 436 according to the EC, were able to vote. Earlier on, there were issues with some people not finding their name in the voters' register. 3 people's names were not in the register. And when he spoke to the electoral commissioner for the Asiedu Iketeke, he told us that they did not register. I mean, the security officials that they wanted to vote, their names were not in the register, and the EC made us to understand that they actually did not register for the special voting. So they will have to come on Saturday, that's December 7th, to take part in the general election. So currently, the ballot boxes have been sealed, everything has been packed, and they've taken to the Jamestown police station. Everything has been successful. Previous elections in the Ododo constituency where you normally see there are certain violences, level of violences occurring at various polling stations. Today wasn't the case. Everything has been successful with parliamentary candidates expressing confidence of winning.
Okay, all right. Grateful to you, Collins. Let's go back to the Colleague Clotte constituency, where James Aveji is joining us from. James, we understand that some people were denied the opportunity to vote. Tell us more. Okay, we'll bring you James Aveji again. We're covering the all of these centers where the special voting took place today. This is Top Story, always brought to you by Telecel, connecting energies and Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil. Enjoy Holy Sleep. Let's try again. James.
All the way from also here today to cast her vote, only to be told that her name is not on the voter list. The inquiry I made from the presiding officer reveals that there was another layer to the process where these individuals who try to put their names on the special voter list should have gone to the EC offices themselves to complete the process, which most of them didn't do, leading to their names not finding its way onto the voter list. And so at least 9 of such persons would have to come back on Saturday to cast their ballot. But generally, it has been a really peaceful atmosphere. As at the close of polls, 1,229 people were expected to cast their ballot at the Colleague Clotte Special Voting Center. Out of that, 1,047 cast their vote at the end of polls at 5 o'clock. The two MPs, candidates going into the elections, Honorable Senator Ajiman Rawlings, has been positive that at the count of that vote and the general election, he and John Mahama would emerge victorious at the end of the day. The candidate for the NPP, Valentino Norte, is also hopeful that the peaceful atmosphere we have experienced today would be extended to December 7 on Saturday, where the process will be devoid of any chaos. And at the end of the day, he himself and Dr. Bawumia would emerge victorious. So, generally, no chaos, no incident happened, apart from the 9 people who were turned away because their names weren't in the voter list.
Okay. But did you speak to these people who were turned away from voting? What did they say?
Yes. In fact, I spoke with the journalist, our colleague from the Port Estate, who couldn't find his name. He was the first incident, and he indicates to me that he really needed to vote today so he could have time for work on Saturday. But what he will do is to go back, and early Saturday, December 7th, he will make an attempt. If he comes and there is too much queue, he cannot vote. He would have to forfeit his vote. But if there is no long queue and his name is on the general list, he will vote. The fire officer from Nsawam indicates that he will be deployed to Nsawam on the day, and so would want to cast a vote today, which means that she will not be able to vote on Saturday. That's the general impression they've been giving me upon failure to vote today.
Thanks for the good work there, James Aveji. Let's take you to the central region now, where Eric Asante is our man on the ground there. Eric, what's happening in the central region? What happened in Cape Coast today?
So, Kojo, it's been a smooth exercise by all standards. All the constituencies, the polling centers that I visited had smooth events right from the start till 5 p.m. Currently, at the KEA constituency, the venue for the special voting today was the Elmina police station, where out of 758 people, 646 people came to cast their vote here in the Elmina constituency, specifically the KEA constituency, I beg your pardon. Earlier, the Cape Coast South constituencies and, of course, the Cape Coast North constituency also had a number of people turning to cast their votes in this special exercise. So, by and large, the exercise has been very smooth here in the central region.
We are getting a sense of, a higher turnout. Is that what you got in some of these areas where you went?
Yeah, from one side, more than 60% turnout in the areas that I visited. The highest being the KEA constituency, where, like I did indicate, 600 people, 675 out of 768 came to cast their votes here at the Commander Edna Eguafo Ebrim constituency. So by and large, yes, as has been recorded in the other parts of the country, here in the central region, the constituency that I've visited so far, the turnout has been very high.
Interesting. Great. Thank you, Eric Asante. There. Let's take you to the Volta region and join Ivy Setoji. Ivy, what more can you tell us from the Volta region?
Well, in the Volta region, the process went smoothly, according to the electoral official. I was first at Keta, and I saw people coming to cast their vote, even though the process was quite slow. But according to the officers, everything was smooth. I was in Angola, same thing happened. Ketu South as
all right. So that's Ivy Setoji there. Ivy, if you're still there, can you wrap up for me? As in, how the whole process ended up there. We're getting the sense that okay. Let's try and rectify the lines, but I'll be taking you to the Bono region shortly, where Precious Semovo is. But let me complete with Ivy Setoji. Ivy, so I'll complete with Ivy shortly, so we can move on. But we're getting the sense that the process throughout the country was quite, smooth, and we didn't have a lot of, challenges with the process itself. Let me still finish with Ivy Setoji. Ivy, so you're telling us about how the process went in the Volta region.
Yes, so the process was smooth. The places I visited, it was a smooth one. That's Keta, Anglogan, Ketu South, Ketu North. It was smooth, but according to some residents, it was kind of slow, though people were still coming to cast their votes.
All right, grateful to you, Ivy Setoji, for joining us here. Let me take you to Precious Semevo. Precious, what can you tell us from where you are based?
Well, so it's been quite a smooth day, actually, here in Sinyani, the Bono Regional Police Headquarters. That is where the election took place. 2 polling centers for Sinyani East. Now, the only hitch or the only concern as raised by the parties during the course of the day had to do with issues of proxy voting, where people came with documents proving that they have the mandate to vote on behalf of others, but they were denied because, according to the EP, proxy voters can only exercise that right on the 7th of December. Now, the other issue has to do with a lot, particularly of the Ghana Armed Forces personnel. Most of them came with their names not in the register. They claim they sent their names, but that is an issue that the EC and the parties as well as the personnel are trying to resolve. But of particular interest is that what we noticed in polling center A and polling center B. Polling center B, one candidate, one voter decided not to vote for the parliamentary candidate. After casting his vote for the presidential, he decided that he's not going to cast any vote for the presidential candidate. And at the polling center A, we had as many as 5 voters who again decided that they are not going to cast their vote for any parliamentary candidate. As much as they were persuaded, they declined that offer to vote for the candidate. So at the end of the day, both center A and center B, 1,013 people did vote as against the expected 1,137 people. As I speak to you, the ballot boxes have been filled with all the political parties and other stakeholders are involved, ensuring that their fields are on the box. It has been transferred to the Odumase Police Headquarters. That is the Municipal Police Headquarters for Sinyani West. It was heavily followed by the police and keenly followed by the political parties who were present, ensuring that nothing will miss them on the road to the center. So that has been the situation here. It's been quite a smooth day, and the anticipation, according to the electoral officer, particularly the district Sinyani East electoral officer, Winifred Ejefum, is that hopefully on Saturday, the 7th of December, the exercise will be as smooth as it has been today.
Thanks for that. Quite an interesting day it has been. This is your election headquarters. Let's bring in Nana Yaojima from the Ashanti region. Nana, what can you tell us from the Ashanti region?
Some of the election today in the Ashanti region has been largely peaceful.
Hello? Nana, you're on.
Hello.
Nana, we can hear you.
So the election has been largely peaceful in the Ashanti, into a lot of the polling stations within the Kumasi metropolis, and I can confirm that a lot of the polling stations started the election on time. 7 exactly, the election materials had arrived with the officers all in position to commence the election. What we observe is that even from the early hours of the day, a number of these polling stations has had queues, long queues there being formed there. It shows that the security personnel and other people who are dignified as special voters were they came out in their numbers to cast their ballots in the election. There were a few places, for instance, the Offensive North Constituency, where the election had delayed because of the late arrival of the register for the election. Aside from that area, there were some few security officers whose names were missing from the register. Aside from these two incidents, I can confirm that most parts of the Ashanti region started on time. The election was calm, very calm and peaceful, probably because most of these polling stations were within police stations. Probably that could be one of the reasons where or why a lot of them were peaceful. Both officials of both NPP and NDC went through most of the polling stations. We met a lot of them on the grounds, and they all confirmed that the election has been peaceful so far. None of them could raise any issue of electoral irregularities today.
Okay.
All the people we spoke to were very excited, and they thought that things had been calm so far.
Okay.
So to the EC, it's expected that a lot of people would turn up for the election, and true to their words, a lot of these polling stations that we visited, they were able to record over 80% of the people who were supposed to vote in the polling stations coming in and peacefully casting their ballots.
All right, thank you, Nana Jima. There, let's wrap up with Eric Obeng, who is at Offensive North Constituency. Eric, what can you tell us from Offensive?
Now, from Offensive North, like as I reported early in the morning, we delayed in the electoral process due to the delayance of the voter register here. The process began exactly at 10:20 in the morning. So as at 5, we still had quite a number of electorates in the queue. So as I was speaking with you, the process just came to an end. We were expecting about 569 electorates to cast their ballots. At the end of the whole process, 532 electorate special voters were able to cast their ballots, leaving 37 for a reason they are not here. We don't know yet from the AC. And according to the EC, saying the turnout is about 93.4, what is quite okay.
Okay.
With the atmosphere here, we didn't experience any unforeseen circumstance whatsoever. The process was very successful, very smooth, and everything was in order.
So that's my colleague Eric there, Eric Obeng, coming to us from Offensive North Constituency. This has been Top Story, brought to you by Telecel, Connecting Energies, Holy Insect Size Spray and Coil. Enjoy Holy Sleep. But this it has been how the a testament of how the election day will go, and our report on your election headquarters will continue on the news night with Emefa Apawu, covering the rest of the country. Stay on.
Everybody likes money, but what do we like more than money? More money! Join the Telecel More Money promo and win money, more money, and even more money. Simply opt in for free and reload your mobile and broadband and be the lucky winner of the 1 million Ghana cedis grand prize. Also win cash prizes of up to 3 million Ghana cedis in the daily and weekly draw. Opt in for free by dialing *500# or send WIN to 500, or you can opt in on the Telecel Play app. The more you reload, the higher chances of winning in the Telecel More Money promo. Keep loading, win, and be a millionaire.
Telecel. Connecting Energies.
Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining my ears, bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. Me I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me dana my dog with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Dana kron kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FDA approved.
It's special voting day. We are 5 days away from the December 7 polls. Hashtag Stop Galamsey Now, so on. Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. In the next 60 minutes, investigators from Office of the Special Prosecutor begin questioning journalists and electoral officials after an incident at Ayawaso West Legon, where the incumbent MP shared packs of food for voters lined up to vote. We have exclusive details as MP for the area deny any knowledge of the incident despite being clearly seen in a video sharing food.
I don't know if you saw me here. I've been here since I came here before 6 a.m. and I left here a few minutes ago. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Plus, we have quick checks on today's special voting exercise in the 14 regions, which has been largely peaceful with a huge turnout and pockets of cases of missing names, vote buying, photo taking of thumb-printed ballots. Plus, Electoral Commissioner Jean Mensah cast her vote at the Dadekotopon Special Voting Centre. We have all the details for you here on Newsnight. Also, government optimistic about boosting productivity at the Tema Port as President Akufo-Addo commissions the $91 million second phase Tema interchange.
It is now my singular honor and pleasure to declare phase 2 of the Tema motorway interchange project duly commissioned. May this infrastructure serve us well, fostering growth, connectivity, and unity for generations to come.
I'll take you live to the project site where motorists are already questioning the rationale behind this commissioning and what they call a partially completed project.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a very good initiative. We are so much happy because the traffic at this juncture will be eased as easy as possible. But my question is, I wish that to be possible. This interchange should be fully completed before the commissioning.
We have details of that also in business.
IMF board passes Ghana on third program review and approves disbursement of some $360 million to Ghana.
And in sports, we hear from presidents of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Ben Noon and Mensah, who has expressed serious doubt over Otuado's competence and ability to lead Ghana to the World Cup following the team's failure to secure a spot at the African Cup of Nations.
And much later, Ghana Drunkards Association asks all bar owners and patrons to close drinking establishments, including blue kiosks, on election day to prevent potential electoral disruptions caused by intoxication.
Some people get drunk to cause confusion at the various polling stations under the influence of alcohol, and some also get intoxicated and end up not voting correctly, and by so doing we have the agent counting a lot of rejected ballots.
That and more in tonight's edition of Newsnight Live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra, and Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM. We are live on myjoyonline.com, live on X Spaces, on Facebook. I am Emefa Apawu. Please do well to join us with your thoughts, your comments via WhatsApp 055 1111 997. Thanks for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Let's start off from the election headquarters.
Election Headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, Chopbox Technology, a convenient service, German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental, Wellness and Beauty, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants CIMA, and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants AICPA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Youth Break Foundation, bridging the gaps for positive youth development. Syntex Tanks, Aya Strong, Aya Tough, Potential Real Estate, your trusted partner in real estate. Deluxe Paints, Paints Mu Champion.
And tonight, investigators from the Office of the Special Prosecutor have begun questioning journalists and other persons who witnessed MP for Ayawaso West Wogon, Lydia Alhassan, sharing packs of food to voters who had lined up to vote. Well, this was after 3 persons were also declared wanted by the Office of the Special Prosecutor for engaging in corruption and corruption-related offences during the special voting. Well, according to the office, these persons were involved in vote buying during the exercise. A generally calm environment at the Legon police station during the special voting degenerated when the MP, Lydia Alhassan, and some other persons were seen handing over food in bags to persons who had queued to vote at that voting centre today. Thankfully, my colleague Kweku Asante of our political desk was at the Legon police station where a little over 950 special voters were expected to vote. You heard his account earlier on Top Story on how voting went there. But let's zoom in specifically on this particular issue. Kweku, so what exactly happened and at what point did the officers of the special prosecutor come in?
So for about 11:50 a.m. this morning, the voting had gone on quite smoothly. Both candidates, in particular John DeMello and Lydia Alhassan, were on the ground right from 6 o'clock a.m. up until that incident. So around 11:50 a.m., a car with packs of food came in, and then the Member of Parliament and other persons that are said to be her staffers actually started picking up this food in packs and then went straight to the Centre A, because this polling station had been divided into Centre A and B, and then started handing out these food. In fact, at the time they started, she was the one handing over the food to these voters who had queued up, most of them in uniform, fire service, police, as well as other persons who were queuing up to go and vote. A lot of them did take this pack of food and other things that were in this pack. They collected it and they were still lining up to go and vote. Up until John DeMello, who was standing a little bit further from that, saw the scene and then walked close together with the constituency chairman and another person, started shouting. It created quite a scene there. I mean, insisting that they were not going to allow for the Member of Parliament to share food to persons who were queuing up to vote. Also, they said that they were not aware of what exactly was in this bag, if it had even foreign material, with these persons not having voted already and now walking to the booth to go to the booth with this bag filled with food and other things that they may not know. They were not going to allow that. That degenerated into a bit of a chaos, and the police officers did manage to calm things a little bit. Ultimately, the food that were in the park that was being shared had to be put on hold because the NDC side at this particular polling station will not allow it, and the police tried to reach some sort of compromise in that. And so that was about 11:50 a.m. The Member of Parliament then left together with a team with these food packs. They went away. But then just after midday, some officers from the special prosecutor who were wearing black shoes and other things, they came in there. They walked into one of the rooms that had been designated as a media room for those of us journalists who were there to cover and were taking our seats there. They came in there and the special prosecutor's officers directly came and asked that they were looking for the journalist from Joy FM because at the time the videos we had captured of the Member of Parliament and her staffers distributing these food packs had gone viral since we had posted them on our social media and also aired them on TV subsequently. And so these special prosecutor officers came in there, they questioned us, what did we see, how we got to record it, they questioned other journalists. In fact, they took our phone numbers and said we're going to reach out to our media houses if they needed us to assist in this investigation. At the time, the Member of Parliament was still not around. In fact, her vehicle was around, but I could not see her. And so the special prosecutor's officers could not question her, but they did also question the presiding officer who said at the time she was not available. She had already been briefed about that. She was going to write a report and send it to her superiors. And so between 11:50 and about 12:30, that particular incident threatened to degenerate the entire process which had been calm right from morning up until that time. Emefa.
Well, and you got to interact with John Dumelo, the NDC candidate for Ayawaso West Legon. What exactly were his views on this particular matter?
Well, he was incensed. He was so angry about the situation. And he interpreted what was going on at vote buying and said all of them could do so. But the member of parliament simply could not act in such a way that he described as, quote, unacceptable.
Why are you sharing food to people in the queue? Why are you doing that? Why we can't share? We can share. If they want me to share, I also share the same. But let's respect the rules of the Electoral Commission. Don't share anything to the people in the queue who have not voted yet. And you are sharing food and we don't even know what is in the thing, and you are sharing it to the people who have not voted yet. What kind of stupidity is this? Why they think we can't do it? We can do the same and even worse. They shouldn't even try us.
Well, Kweku, you got to also interact with Lydia Al-Hassan herself. What did she say about this?
So, when tempers calmed a little bit at the police station, about 2 hours later, the member of parliament returned to the scene, and then journalists did try to get some answers. And she said, surprisingly, that she did not know anything about this, and in fact, she was not even there when the thing happened. But this is contrary, despite the fact that she herself was the one sharing these packs of items to the voters, and she's captured on tape, actually in the queue, giving out these items. She said she was not around when this happened, and she's trying to get more information. Listen to her.
I wasn't here. I don't know if you saw me here. I've been here since I came here before 6 a.m. And I left here a few minutes ago. I don't even know what you're talking about. I am yet to find out from them what happened.
But Kweku, you were there. Did you see her sharing food?
Yes. At the time this particular incident happened around 11:50, from the videos that have since gone viral, she was the one leading a team of about 3-4 persons who were handing out this pack of food. And what we have now got to know, part of the things that were in the pack were pastries as well as some soft drinks and other things. So they were handing that out actively to the security officers. Some of them in the queue at the time were prison officers, were police officers. Some of them did actually take these items from the member of parliament herself and other persons who were there to actually support the member of parliament. And all this have been captured on tape and is all over the place now in the Apawu.
Thank you very much, Kweku Asante. And of course, that team witnessed that particular sharing of food by the MP for the area, and it's available on all our social media platforms, even though you hear her there denying knowledge about this particular sharing of food. But my colleague Samuel Kojo Brace has been taking you around some regions. We weren't able to cover the entire regions though, but let's do a quick check on what has been happening in terms of the special voting for today. We know that the Electoral Commissioner herself, Jean Mensah, cast her ballot earlier today at the La Dade Kotopong Special Voting Center, and those pictures and videos are available on all our social media platforms. But let me take you to the Upper West region. Rafiq Salam has been monitoring events there today. Rafiq, what's the situation in the Upper West region? What can you report?
Those closer in the one municipality of the Upper West region here, a total of 967 persons have penciled their names to take part in these elections. At the end of the day, close to about 827 persons were able to exercise their franchise. But there was a disagreement, or like the NDC raised a certain concern regarding the number of persons who took part in the exercise. At the Sacred Court A polling station, out of a total of 711 persons, ballot papers that were issued, only 710 were biometrically verified. And so the NDC raised that concern, but according to the NPP agent, he told us that it was much ado about nothing. It was only one vote, and which will be rectified when they are counting the ballots, and which was also agreed by the returning officer to the elections, Dr. Joseph Wolifant. So it's close here, and then the electoral materials are now dumped at the armory of the War Police Station.
Okay, and well sealed, and there are no concerns from the various political parties on this?
Yeah, the only concern was from the NDC I spoke to you about, which has to be about the number of ballot papers that were issued for the elections. There were 711 that were issued, but in terms of biometric verification, only there were 411 persons electoral materials that were issued, ballot papers that were issued, but only 410 were biometrically verified. And so the NDC is raising concern that the number of persons, the number of ballot papers that were issued were more than the number of persons verified.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's my colleague Rafiq Salam giving his update on the situation in the Upper West region when it comes to special voting for today. Next door is the Upper East region, and Albert, has been monitoring events there as well. Albert, how has it been? Voting has ended already in the centers that you visited?
Yes, Emefa. Let's begin from the Boko municipality, which was one of our focus areas today. Obviously, because of the security situation there. Surprisingly, there was a very high turnout because out of 526 people who had registered to vote as special voters today, 405 of them turned out to vote, representing about 77% of the people. The polling station was set up at the Boko police station, and so everything went on very smoothly. There weren't any challenges whatsoever, and there weren't any disturbances as a lot of people had feared at the beginning of voting today. Across the other centers in the region.
Just before you leave Boko, though, I know you've been engaging some authorities on this particular issue. What have they been telling you?
Yeah, so we spoke to the returning officer for the Boko Central Constituency around midday today, and he told us about how peaceful the process had been and how they hadn't faced any challenges. Later, we also interacted with the Upper East Regional Police Commander, who was at the scene. He told us that everything has been peaceful, and one of the things they are doing is to engage the political parties to ensure that on the election day proper, the same amount of decorum and peaceful nature will be maintained.
You can see within the town that it's people moving freely to come and exercise their franchise on this special day. We are going to maintain this momentum, and going forward, we are meeting all the parliamentary candidates in Bolga to ensure that we all agree to talk to our people and to allow people to come and exercise their franchise. We are also engaging the communities.
Well, Albert, so that's your interaction with the commander there. You can briefly touch on the other centers you visited.
Yes, so at the Bolga Central and Bolga East constituencies as well, there weren't any incidents, and the same was repeated across all the other polling stations across the region. There were reports of a few who couldn't start at exactly 7 a.m., except that there weren't any reported incidents or challenges faced at all.
That's my colleague Albert there, reporting from the Upper East region. Let's head down and to the northern region. Martina Bugri has been monitoring events all day. Martina, how has it been? Unfortunately, it looks like Martina, are you there? Hello, Martina?
Yes.
Okay, great. Tell me about voting today.
I monitored three centers, and it's all peaceful till the end. And they've sent their papers to the armory at the headquarters. And lastly, we had a very peaceful process, except 3 people who could not vote at the Tamale South because their names were not captured. And so they were told to come back on the 7th of December and vote. Apart from that incident, everything went well. Now, at the end of voting for Tamale Central, out of the 679 people who were captured to vote today, 605 voted, representing 89.1. For Tamale South, 287 were captured to vote, and 258 turned out to vote, representing 89.9. Sanegu has 364 people who were bailed to vote, and out of that, 321 turned out to vote.
That's a Martina Bugri. Martina, thank you so much. I'm giving us updates on the situation in the northern region. Anas Sabit joins us on the line. Anas, you've been monitoring some voting centers. What can you report?
Emefa in the South Constituency has 2 polling stations, one having 620 and the other 626. The turnout has been massive. It's polling station A recording 565 and the other recording 564. So when you total these 2 polling stations, 1,129 persons turned out to vote today, which is 92.10% out of a total 1,250 who are expected to cast their ballots in the South Constituency.
So that's my colleague Anas Sabit there giving us the situation in some centers that he was able to visit. Well, Peter Seno is in the OT region. We'll get to him shortly. But let me head back to the Greater Accra region. My colleague Michael Papani Ashale has been monitoring some centers also in the Greater Accra region. Michael, good to hear from you. What's the situation where you were? But of course, I'll bring in Michael Papani Ashale shortly. But earlier, we've been hearing from President Akufo-Addo, confident that the Electoral Commission, the security agencies and other bodies responsible for the December 7 elections will deliver after being fully resourced for the exercise. He's been addressing congregants of the Anglican Church here in Accra.
Across the world, when people speak about Africa and democracy, the country that they refer to as the country which is the beacon of democratic governance on our continent, they talk about Ghana. And on Saturday, we're going to get another opportunity, the 9th successive opportunity we have to demonstrate to the world that indeed we understand what democratic government is about. That every few years, the people are given the opportunity to decide who will rule and govern them in their name. So that is going to happen again this Saturday. I am appealing to all of you. The Electoral Commission, the security services, the government have all made arrangements to make sure that everything goes peacefully and properly. I'm appealing to you to make sure that what happens here next Saturday is indeed peaceful, free, and fair.
Well, we've been hearing also from the flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, saying that Akufo-Addo's administration's investment in the security services and the passage of the right to information is indicative of the administration's commitment to improve the lives of personnel in the security agencies and the media.
The need for comprehensive reform was clear. We have significantly bolstered the ranks across our security agencies. The Ghana Police Service now boasts over 46,000 officers, almost 13,000 more than we inherited. Fire service personnel count has doubled to 15,000. Our prison service and immigration service have seen similar growth in numbers. We have massively upgraded your tools and infrastructure. Over 900 vehicles and 3 helicopters have been added to the police service. State-of-the-art surveillance systems, including over 11,000 cameras, have been deployed across the country. We have also improved living conditions with new barracks and housing units for personnel. We have resolved critical issues such as the Legon chieftaincy dispute, restoring peace and setting a precedent for handling similar conflicts. But our vision extends far beyond what has been done. We are looking ahead to construct forward operating bases to enhance border security, further increase our personnel by 20,000, expand surveillance with 50,000 additional cameras. Our commitment to you and to all Ghanaians is unwavering.
Well, in a broadcast also ahead of the special voting today, NDC presidential candidate John Dramani Mahama assured security officials as well as journalists of transformative policies if they vote massively for him.
You as security personnel are the backbone of Ghana's safety. Your roles are pivotal in maintaining peace and order and ensuring that the true voice of the people is heard and respected. I understand the unique challenges you face daily. You sacrifice your comfort to protect us and work tirelessly to keep our citizens informed. Your dedication, courage, and commitment have helped build the foundation of democracy in Ghana. And therefore you deserve a leader who recognizes and appreciates your contributions. As an advocate for the welfare of our security services and a supporter of a free press, I want to assure you that the National Democratic Congress, NDC, believes that your voices matter. My administration will prioritize improving your working conditions, providing adequate resources, and strongly supporting your critical roles in society. In the face of misinformation and a climate where trust can be scarce, we will work together to uphold the integrity of our institutions and protect freedom of expression.
I'll hit the campaign trail shortly. You know that the former president is in the Hafwano South constituency as we speak, and also we'll be checking on the other presidential candidates. I'll bring you a wrap of the activities over the weekend as well. But let me touch base with my colleague Michael Ashale on the special voting. He's been monitoring some centres in the Greater Accra region. Michael, where have you been and what can you report?
So I've been mainly stationed at the Adenta constituency, and this poll or the voting happened at the divisional police headquarters of Adenta, and that's where we had two polling stations. Both combined, we were expecting 1,202 individuals. After nearly 10 hours of voting, or the number of people that came through were little under 1,000, 937 of them. Yes, so that makes around 77%. I mean, in our interaction with the presiding officer, they tell us that is a little above what they got in the last election 4 years ago for the special voting exercise. They had around 75%. So 2% more people managed to turn up today. However, in about 4 people who were unable to exercise their franchise today. 2 of them came just 1 minute after the voting exercise had been officially announced for, and they were denied the access to that. And then 2 other people, one police officer and then a military officer, were unable to also exercise their franchise. They were told that their names were not in the register, therefore will not be allowed to go through the process. What we are told is that they were expected to have confirmed their names on the voting register, but they did not do that. That is why their names were not officially on the final register that was brought to the polling station.
Okay, well, so that's Michael Ashale there giving us update on the special voting exercise on the center that he was stationed at today. But let's do a quick check on the various political parties. And before we do that, also, I know that the Electoral Commission has just issued a statement. EC issues revised media accreditation for constituency and regional coalition centers. You know, this was such a big deal, but there's been some U-turn and some decisions that have been made regarding accreditation for, the media, amongst others. It says, following internal discussions and consultations with key media personalities, the Electoral Commission is pleased to announce to the media and the general public that media persons assigned photo accreditation to cover polling stations will be able to use the same accreditation to cover constituency and regional coalition centers. From Saturday, 7th December 2024, media persons can access constituency and regional coalition centers using their photo accreditation cards issued by the EC. The EC is desirous to maintain the highest level of transparency and accountability in its operations. The revised media accreditation aims to provide media personnel with greater flexibility and access to key election centers. Well, this commitment is to ensure that the media can effectively cover the electoral process, and this change reflects that commitment. And this is signed by Director for Electoral Services, Benjamin Banobio. We are yet to hear from the Electoral Commission also on today's exercise, but let's touch base with the various political parties. I'll start with the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mr. Mustafa Gbande. Thank you so much for joining us here on Newsnight. What did your monitoring reveal today?
Hello?
I can hear you, Mr. Gbande. I'm asking what your monitoring of the special voting exercise today revealed.
Well, I think generally
your call has been put on hold.
Have been able to run the system. We've not recorded many of the usual network issues. We have not also seen many of system breakdown. We've seen a lot of officers come out in their numbers to vote. The only challenge was few places where people could not identify their names in the voters' register. And of course, the rampant and rate at which MPP was sharing money to service officers. And I think that goes deep down to the roots and fiber of this country. It's an unethical political practice.
Where did that happen?
A lot of places. I mean, a lot of places they shared money.
Like?
Including sending Momo to service officers who have not solicited for same. And I think that even though Ghanaians are tolerant of a corrupt government, this is not the best way to abuse and to spend stolen wealth.
Mr. Gwande, I've asked you specifically where this happened. Please, Mr. Gwande, if you can hear me, I've asked you where exactly this happened.
Many of the places. You want me to put out the name of a service officer who have received money from government?
I'm not asking you to put the name of a service officer. You said it happened at several centers. I'm asking, where did that happen?
Saying that the MPP sent unsolicited Momo transfers to individuals. Ask them, they know it. And if they think they haven't done it, let them come out and accuse me and let me hold them to the evidence.
But you are making a public allegation. Yes, you mentioned that apart from the Momo, we have, for instance, put out where we saw that there was distribution of food by the Ayawaso West Wogon MP, for instance. We put that out. So if you are making the allegation, at least there should be one center that you saw that happen that you can put out.
Food is a practice that one call a normalcy. Because, I mean, we all feed agents. MPP and NDC, we are not enemies.
You are supposed to be feeding people who are in the queue to vote. Is that allowed?
Except the fact that this was not what we used to do. You can feed agents, you can feed EC officers, but to give people broad daylight, sharing people, giving people food when they are in the queue to vote, it's one of the numerous nefarious tactics the MPP have developed for this election. And I think that it will work because it's unethical. It's unethical. You can't be giving food to people in the queue the same way they shared money.
And you're saying that giving them food is normal. What does this say? At least enlighten me. I'm reading to you a law, for instance, that we know. This PNDC law 284. Treating. A person commits the offense of treating if that person, A, corruptly or through another person before, during or after an election gives or provides or pays wholly or in part the expenses of giving or providing meat, drink, entertainment or provision to or for any person. And it goes on. And you say it is normal for you to be giving food and other things to EC officials and all?
I defined it to tell you that if you go to a polling station and you meet workers at the polling station, MPP agents, NDC agents, Electoral Commission workers, you kind of feed your party and of course leave the rest. But to go and give somebody who is voting the subject matter of a decision, giving the person food in the queue, amount to the law you are quoting to me. Why is Lydia Al-Hassan still working? Why is she still working? That is impunity. And this is what we have sat and observed President Akufo-Addo do for the last 8 years.
And we've told you've heard us talk about the fact that the OSP moved in and investigations are underway. However, you have not been able to substantiate the allegations that you made, that you saw sharing of money. You have not been able to tell me where that happened. So I take it that it's an allegation you are unable to prove. Let me bring in Evans Nimako, who is Director of Elections of the NPP. Let me find out from him also about what he observed. Mr. Nimako, what can you tell us about your observations of today's exercise?
Thank you very much for having me, and good evening to your listeners across the world. I think for us as New Patriotic Party, today's early voting or special voting has gone very well. Largely, there was no confusion. The EC system went very well. I'm still collecting issues from across all the centers, and I'm expecting that very soon I'll have a comprehensive report from our regional officers and national officers who did the monitoring. But I must put one issue across, and it must be heard very well by the NDC. It takes two to tango. The New Patriotic Party will not waste our resources to engage the end on mere allegations. They found themselves to be doing one of these too many from registration exercise up to today, at any point in time, NDC is ready to come up with some allegation one way or the other. We are not ready. We are ready to win elections. So we submitted to the good people of Ghana comprehensive, superior policies and programs that Mahamudu Bawumia government will pursue.
You may be ready to win the election, Mr. Nimako, but does that include sending Momo and, influencing voters to actually vote for you, especially today, like we are told?
Today's voting was meant to take care of media, security agencies, EC staff, and their ad hoc staff. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you had your name on the special voters, which case you would have voted. Did you vote today?
No, I did not.
Okay. So some of your colleagues voted today. Find out from them whether they see any Momo from the new person.
At least he didn't say it's journalists. He says you sent to security officials unsolicited, he says.
Please, we shouldn't use valuable airtime to discuss allegations that being.
But I'm sure it's been brought to your attention that the Ayawaso West Wogon MP was seen sharing packs of food to persons who were in the queue to vote. Is that what you've sanctioned as a party?
I'm happy you cited the political party on issues of treating and other. So, if the special is going to go into it, one issue that they will look at what is the intent. Let's leave that to the special prosecutor and let nobody try to steal the investigation. I will leave it first. But I can assure you that the new Patriotic Party, knowing that we are winning this election, we will not be led by experts in their afraid of confusion to get us in any form of what I'll put it as getting us to have an engagement that will go against the democratic here. So the new Patriotic Party is so mature that we respect the rules of the game. And let's start.
You'd have to reposition yourself. We keep losing you along the line, Mr. Nimako.
Sorry. I'm saying that in 2020, when a bold ballot issuer tore off Nana Addo Dankwa from the ballot, new Patriotic Party, they don't act having big lose. We submitted our petition to the EC. If NDC feel that there has been any electoral infraction, let them bring it up and submit to the police or to the EC and to you, the media, so that you can do the naming and shaming. And I'm saying that we will not waste our energies on these issues.
Okay.
We are ready and we supported Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. We will continue to reach out to voters so that when they go to poll on December 7th, they will vote massively for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. That is our focus, and that's all we've been doing.
Well, Mr. Nimako, we are grateful. Is Mr. Gbande still with us? Let me give you the final word on this. Mr. Gbande, the information you have in terms of this vote buying allegations, are you willing to take it at least to the Office of the Special Prosecutor or report candidates to the police, for instance?
Well, I think that we will take that up, and let me state that the Special Prosecutor, this matter is not a matter for the Special Prosecutor. It will delay. MPP is in the news again for the wrong reasons. And the reasons are that they are engaged in unethical politicking, including bribing people who are in the queue to vote. It's a straight matter that the police should pick her up. The police should pick her up from the polling station. That is the assurance the IGP gave all of us. The IGP said that there will be orderly conduct of the election. Somebody is bribing voters at the eyes of everyone, and we are calling in Special Prosecutor. It's like asking, putting a dead body and asking people to come and sit there and take tea. I mean, this is evidence that we all have. We've seen footages. Thank you
to be. And you're asking the special prosecutor to investigate what? Where the food was cooked. The food was prepared and brought to voting centers. And I'm saying that the MPP shared unsolicited memo to service officials, which boiled down to trying to corrupt the root of our country. Look, this Miracle Sabuaji, he put on Facebook some printed ballot papers. Where did he get the pictures from? Is it allowed? Is it not supposed to be secret balloting? How come he was able to put some printed ballot papers on his Facebook? So the MPP again, and my brother Gary, my brother Nemako, your party is in the public domain for the wrong reasons that you have been known for in the last 30 years.
Okay, Mr. Gbande, we'll have to leave it here. That's all time will allow us on this. We are indeed grateful. And of course, both sides I agree that it was largely a peaceful exercise. And we're monitoring events, at least. We've been hearing from all our correspondents on the ground, an exercise largely over and ballot papers secure and put in the armory of the various security agencies or where it's supposed to be. We'll be hearing also from the Electoral Commission and subsequently on what they also make of today's exercise. But it's time for business with George Riafi. When we return, I'll tell you more about the inauguration of the second phase of the Tema motorway interchange and the mixed reactions that has greeted that commissioning done by President Akufo-Addo. George Riafi has business. George, what do we have?
Well, Emefa coming up. IMF board passes Ghana on third program review and approved disbursement of $360 million. And economists correct, but he cast doubts over tax cuts proposed by presidential candidates of the NPP and NDC, saying current state of the economy might be difficult for them to implement these measures. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, Centers Tanks and President Herbal and Charcoal.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Hooray! The Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is organizing its end-of-year furniture promotional sales from the 15th of November to the 31st of December this year. Kingdom Books and Stationery is giving away a whopping 10 to 15% discount on all furniture at our furniture shops. Head office, Akweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Tema, Comte 4, Takrady, opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast, University Bookshop, Spintex Road near Absa Bank, Atomic, Centerpoint Mall, Winneba, University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit and shop online at www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764101 or email us at info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
Dear Chatwo, a son say a busuan from Contino. You can't say ye pepsodent, ye didn't also a canyamane home.
Hey, wohu, we could hear wo, no he wole, was shre, nana no ne, whatever.
Hey, Ampo, Odinda so, Imamenae, Emefa, dear.
One so bet to me to dinga to President Busia Park no so. But we busia who buy more who do, for we need to rest to a bear will not come to President Busia Park. FDA, check the incato yatumu.
From the classroom to the lab, from the village to the city, the NPP's commitment to education is building a brighter Ghana. Free SHS isn't just about free tuition, it's an investment in Ghana's future. We have topped it up with free TVET and STEM education, skilled graduates, innovative thinkers, and a thriving economy. That's the promise of Free SHS.
3 of my cousins have benefited from Free SHS since 2017. One has graduated and is in nursing training. The other 2 are also in the university. I'll vote number 1. I'll vote for Baumia on December 7th.
We are building a better tomorrow through education. Vote NPP. Vote number 1. Vote Baumia. Baumia means business. Esro.
AKA the one who has all the filler in Ghana.
AKA Yesi.
That is me.
Where are you going with all these gadgets in your shopping basket?
I'm preparing myself for the upcoming elections. My eyes wide, Papa. After I vote, I'll be using the binoculars to see what is happening during the counting. Touchlight when it is late. And in case they put the lights out, I even have my bobo. Some of us refuse to sit by and watch the EC people change the figures in favor of any candidate.
Do you think that can happen?
Mr. EC, you again? Are you following me or what?
Following you? No, I'm just doing my job to make sure that the accurate information is being shared with the public. Now listen, elections are won or lost at the polling stations and not at the EC offices.
Tell him!
At the beginning of voting, an empty transparent ballot box is shown to all stakeholders and voters. Party agents, observer groups, and the media monitor the process of voting. And at the close of voting, the counting is done in full view of all party agents, observer groups, the media, and the general public. The presiding officer wears a white glove to do the counting, and when it is finished, the results are entered on a carbonized pink sheet. The pink sheet is signed by all party agents, and the results are announced by the presiding officer. A copy of the signed pink sheet is given to the party agents, and a copy is also posted on the walls of the polling station for all to see.
So it is a lie if someone tells you that the Electoral Commission can change the results. Elections are won or lost at the polling station, so party agents should check before they sign. As the chairperson in the case of the presidential election will only declare what is brought before her.
Transparency!
This is part of the process towards conducting a free, fair, and transparent election by the Electoral Commission.
Aha! Now we know the truth. We won't fall for the lies anymore. Yes. AKA Jimmy Braggart. You must trust the process.
Electoral Commission of Ghana. Transparency and accountability in motion.
You're welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, the IMF has passed Ghana on the 3rd program review. It has also approved the disbursement of some $360 million to the country. There is more in this report.
Ghana secured the approval after the board met to consider the program review by the IMF staff this morning in Washington, D.C., USA. The board went ahead to approve the staff report as they were quite satisfied with how Ghana has performed under the fund program, especially when it comes to meeting those key targets for the 3rd review. The board also went ahead to approve the disbursement of some $360 million that should hit the Bank of Ghana's account before Friday. The board was also satisfied about the progress made when it comes to the economy and measures being implemented by government to improve revenue. The fund was of the firm belief that the economy was on the path to full recovery. However, there were still some areas that the IMF wanted government to pay some attention so that the recovery will not be affected going forward. For some, the news could go a long way to signal that government is on track to firmly stabilize the economy as well as help strengthen the cedi and deal with the negative sentiment that was putting some pressure on the local currency.
And that is a Business Desk report. Now, economist Kojo but is raising some serious concerns about the tax cuts proposed by the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress. The presidential candidates of these two major political parties have all proposed the removal of taxes if elected into power. Now, Mr. Boti says that the current state of the economy might make it difficult to push through some of these cuts.
Human nature is equally selfish. That you cut tax rate by the port, is it VAT, is it the e-levy, is it the betting tax, whichever, name them, that you cut tax rate does not automatically translate into compliance. Indeed, those who are greedy and inherently want more will still not pay. So what the focus should be on is compliance enforcement. How do you compensate for the revenue loss? Because definitely if you cut those tax rates, there'll be revenue loss. How do you compensate it for it through compliance enforcement to ensure that those who are not in the tax net, those who are not declaring, are not motivated to keep doing so? Until we that code, you may cut tax rate to even 10%, 5%, and compliance rate may not change much. If it is going to increase, just by maybe a marginal rate. The problem is in compliance enforcement.
And that is economist Courage Buti. Now, new airlines coming to Ghana are boosting the ground handling services business at the Kojo International Airport. Now, that's according to the managing director of Ghana Makamis. According to him, the high taxes faced by the sector is not crippling the business. He spoke to Joy Business at the press launch of the 30th anniversary of the company.
The Bank of Ghana, in its monetary policy statement, revealed that economic activities have picked up strongly based on how things have fared in the third quarter of this year. The Bank of Ghana further argued that this pickup has been driven by economic activities like increase.
So I think the ground handling business in Ghana actually is booming now after COVID, and you can see new airlines coming into Accra, and also other airlines trying to join. You see the likes of Virgin Atlantic entering the market next year. So for me and Aviance in particular, we're doing extremely well, and I can only see growth coming into Ghana. As you know, the aviation can be very volatile, and I think as a company like Aviance Ghana, you just have to be agile and be able to move with the market. On the tax question, I couldn't give a good answer on the tax, to be honest with you. That's a regulated charge. So if that's what our charges are, that's what we do. Obviously, we're always lobbying for cheaper taxes and better ways to work.
Makames is the managing director of Aviance Ghana. Now, the Bank of Ghana is insisting that the economy has picked up strongly and now as it continues to show some signs of full stability. There is more in the following report.
The Bank of Ghana, in its monetary policy statement, revealed that economic activities have picked up strongly based on how things have fared in the third quarter of this year. The Bank of Ghana further argued that this pickup has been driven by economic activities like increased import activity, households, firms' consumption of goods and services, construction activities, credit to the private sector, and higher tourist arrivals. It also adds that data observed through October 2024 indicated broad stability in the macroeconomic indicators. The central bank also added that growth outturn so far has been strong, and leading indicators of economic activity is projecting stronger growth in the second half of the year.
And that is a business desk report, and that's all for business on Newsnight. Back to you, Emefa, and I see you poised for our election coverage, already branded in your black and red tie.
A special voting
election
day, so what do you expect?
Headquarters.
We are your election headquarters.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let's do sports. What do we have, Ms. Bar? It's been a while. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Emefa. Good to see you. Good to see you. Well, Emefa, the future of Black Stars head coach Tuado is still limbo, but latest to raise concerns about his ability to continue managing the Black Stars as president of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Ben Nunu Mensah, and he has expressed significant concerns over his Tuado's ability to secure Ghana's qualification for the upcoming FIFA World Cup. Now, this follows the Black Stars' failure to qualify for the African Cup of Nations, raising doubt about the team's preparedness and leadership under Otuado. The president of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Ben Nunu Mensah, has been speaking on Asampere FM's Ultimate Sports Show.
Personally, I haven't been too convinced with Otuado's, technical prowess. If you watch the games ending against Niger now, the second half, I thought any good coach would have changed his tactics, and then you realize Kwesi Appiah changed his tactics completely. Yeah, that's how come they overrun us. So most time critical matches and crucial matches are won by the coaches. And it may use an unquote to judge or not to assess him, especially the AFCON. We don't know how he went. I don't think I'm convinced that he's somebody who can
qualify us
or is technically competent enough to qualify the Black Stars. It may, but I don't think it's my personal opinion based on what I've seen and what I expected. Any World Class coach to change his tactics coming back in the second half. And I think that is something that is quite challenging to me.
Well, that's Ben Nunu Mensah, the president of the Ghana Olympics Committee. Well, Emefa, earlier, which is yesterday, some hours ago, on Sunday in Guinea, it's now been confirmed that 56 people have lost their lives following a stampede that occurred during a soccer match in the southern part of Guinea. Well, we understand the tournament was being played in honor of the junta president, and following confusion over a penalty that was awarded in the dying embers of the game, fans overreacted, leading to some altercation with the police. Tear gas was thrown into the stands, and in an attempt to flee the stadium, some of the fans ended up losing their lives, with a number of them, we understand, being children, and also quite a number of them suffering all manner of injuries. Well, we've got just a little sound of what happened over there during this stampede. So that's what happened there at the moment that the fans were trying to escape the chaos in the stadium, and the authorities say they've launched an investigation to determine responsibility. The Communications Minister Fana Suma said that regional officials are working to restore order, and we understand that several injured victims remain in critical condition at a local hospital there. Well, Emefa,
such a sad situation.
Yeah, really sad for the people of Guinea. But that's all we have for you on Sports Today. And election headquarters. Election headquarters. Did you vote today, though?
No, I didn't.
Okay. We'll sort that out. We'll sort that out.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much, Musbao. And just before we head out, some of your messages, and then I'll take you to Tema Motorway. And this one from Courage Mari says, Emefa, the Electoral Commission is at its best. I'm sure you're talking about today's organization of the special voting. And Elder from Sunyang says, I urge all Ghanaians to vote against the 58 million hole, to vote against willing Ghana's resources to a single family. Okay, he has a number of things that you have to vote against. That's from Elder there. And we have this one also, says, Mustafa is very right. Momo was given to police officers at Amasamang. People were giving 300 cedis Momo before voting. He saw it. He says, you have no name. Okay, that's Tony Aklija. And of course, the special prosecutor is investigating such incidents, and so I'm sure he will look into that of the Amasaman situation that you're reporting on. And we have this one also. Senna says, even though NPP parliamentary candidates share food and money today, I hope after this current election NDC will win one tight. That's Senna's message there that he sent. And this one also says, in fact, in the Keta constituency, the turnout of special voting was too low, and I believe strongly that on Saturday the people will come out in their numbers. Abuchi Philip from Keta, that's your concern. And we have this one also, Musa Abatwa in Aswasi, and he says, I'll go all the way down to Musa's message. He says, Lydia Hassan's vote buying through food distribution and the irregularities in where verifications exceeded vote cast undermine our democracy. That's a concern that Musa Abatwa also sends in on this one. And we have this one also said, to be frank, missing names. That's Kotoka Courage Anglogala Shibi says, to be frank, the missing names in special voting register by the EC seem to be a deliberate act by the EC boss and her team. Okay, well, that's your concern that you've also sent in. Some of your messages that you've sent in, many thanks for sending them in. But let's talk about the second phase of the Tema Motorway interchange. It's been duly inaugurated today by President Akufo-Addo, and the project includes a third tier flyover spanning approximately 1.8 kilometers connecting Tema Community 9 to the Ashaman Timber Market, along with traditional viaducts designed to ease traffic congestion and boost productivity. Listen to President Akufo-Addo commissioning this particular project earlier today.
Grant aid. It is the largest grant of its kind extended to Ghana by Japan. This generous support from the government and people of Japan, facilitated by the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, reflects the strong bond of friendship and mutual respect between our two nations. On behalf of the government and people of Ghana, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to the government and people of Japan. Your steadfast support and expertise have been instrumental.
That's President Akufo-Addo. Well, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Francis Asenso-Boakye, is also hopeful the project will ease traffic congestion and boost productivity.
Experience where our dear country is seeing these unprecedented levels of road infrastructure development under your leadership, Mr. President. These strains of achievement highlight the government's commitment to enhancing road infrastructure across the country, ensuring better connectivity and fostering economic growth.
My colleague Carlos Kaloni has been there for us, joins us on the line. Carlos, you got to tour the projects the whole day. Earlier, in your interaction with some residents and motorists, their concerns about the level of completion before the inauguration was done. What did you find?
All right, Emefa, so I can confirm that while the main toll bridge has been fully completed, so some work is still pending. One area of concern is the flyover towards the Ashaiman Timber Market area, which has yet to receive its final asphalt overlay. I also noticed that some sections of the flyover are yet to see the laying of pavement blocks. And so these have been the concerns of the drivers who we spoke to. They believe that these things should have been sorted out before the commissioning.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a very good initiative. We are so much happy because the traffic at this juncture will be eased as easy as possible. But my question is, I wish that it be possible, this interchange should be fully completed before the commissioning. And then moreover, Ghana, you've been in power, Mr. President, for solid 8 years now. My question is, why waiting for 5 days to election before commissioning this? What are you telling us, Ghanaians?
I'm a driver. I'm very happy about this initiative. But then, I think the thing has wasted too much time, and the time is too close for commissioning. Moreover, the work is not completed. 8 years down the line, why today? In fact, we are not happy on that side. By the way, we expected more from the president. If God be so good and you retain a seat as a party, then we need to see more. Either than that, then we hold it in that way. We are very, very excited for the government of commission of this road. But we are praying the government should do something about Tafienya and Dawenya road.
And that's our show for today here on Joy 99.7 FM, Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, myjoyonline.com, X Spaces and Facebook. Many thanks for your company. I am Emefa Apawu. For more news, please do log on to myjoyonline.com. That's My Opinion with Nana Ansakwao is up next. Please do stay.